Hi, I'm Lauren. I was born and raised right outside of Chicago, and I was lucky enough to land in Youngstown. I've been telling stories since I was in high school, and I want to continue doing that right here.
My name is Mike Case, and I love this area. I grew up here, I went to school here, and I work here. Always have. Lauren and I both know there are so many good stories to tell and so many good people that deserve the spotlight. And this program allows us to do just that. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Valley Spotlight. My name is Mike.
And I'm Lauren, and as always, we appreciate the time that you choose to spend with us, if it's on TV or online. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, and I think we have a very inspirational show for you today. Let's start from the end and kind of work our way back.
Well, we had the pleasure of meeting a gentleman named Carl Nunziato, and I'm sure there are a lot of people in the Youngstown community who know exactly who I'm talking about, but maybe some people don't know exactly what his story is and why he came so far when it comes to the veteran community within our town, and he has quite the story.
Yeah, it's not just a good story, but he's actually doing something about it, and we're going to meet the guy that's making plenty of impressions around town. Plus, we're going to meet a dance team that is not only fantastic, but they are national champions too, so we're going to head over to Niles and visit with them. You're going to talk with Chad Cromer.
I am. With Next Home Realty, we're going to spend some time checking out a family room, and then first impressions when you walk into a bathroom. And this one, I feel like Chad, of course, he does such a good job of finding such beautiful spaces that you just want to move in just immediately.
And Mark Canzonetta and I are teaming up one more time. We're going to talk about baby chickens this time.
Little tiny ones.
Yeah, so it's called a spatchcock hen. So it should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But let's begin with this, shall we? All right, imagine for 1 second that you don't have your left arm or your left leg. Yeah, that would be tough, would it not? Not only would you go through depression and shock, you'd probably end up doing just the best you can the rest of your life. Now comes the story of Noah Galloway, who's not only doing the best he can, he's probably doing the best that anyone could ever do.
Everything's perfect. So, I don't want to think too much about whether I want to believe it or not, because if it's a dream, I don't want to wake up from it.
That's Noah Galloway today. 13 years ago, Sergeant Galloway couldn't wake up if he tried. He was in southwest Baghdad driving an Army Humvee.
And we were driving, and it was 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, headlights off, night vision goggles on, and I didn't see a tripwire that was stretched across the road, that when we hit it, it detonated a roadside bomb that hit my door and threw this 9,000-pound armored Humvee flying through the air and landed in a canal running adjacent to the road. Woke up 6 days later in a hospital to being told that I lost my arm and my leg.
He lost 2 limbs, and he lost his career.
And there were many times that I thought I'd rather have died in combat than to live the life that I was assuming I was going to live. It was going to be this miserable life, missing 2 limbs.
Over 5 years of depression, even a 10-day stint in jail. Then gradually, he started to turn it around because of 3 little rays of sunshine.
Eventually, it was my children that were my motivation to actually get past all of this. But every time I'd fall flat on my face, it was the thought of my children that were my motivation to get back up and push a little harder and go a little further. So then eventually it just got easier and easier to get help, to get back into fitness, to start taking care of myself, to be a better father.
Getting into fitness is one thing. Getting fit enough to climb a mountain or participate in a 58-hour race with 100 people is another. But that's what Noah did, and he was one of 20 that finished. And then?
Those things ended up earning me a spot on the cover of Men's Health, where they called me the ultimate guy. So it was, to have that experience, missing my arm and my leg and showing what I was doing with it actually was what caught the attention of all these people. Yeah. So it became something that I was using to my advantage instead of a disadvantage.
After that, where people recognize him the most, ABC's Dancing with the Stars, a show that he turned down at first and ended up coming in 3rd.
I'm very happy with the outcome because, I can't even dance. Forget the fact I'm missing an arm and a leg. I wanted a dancing show. I can't dance. I came in 3rd. I'm really happy with it.
Since then, he's become a speaker at events around the country. He has a book out called Living with No Excuses. But the part that's most gratifying for him, helping normal people that are just like him.
I am just a regular guy from Alabama, You know, I'm doing well, but I still got my pickup truck. I drive around. The amount of people that stop me or write me, reach out to me on social media, or they come to meet and greets, or they just know who I am, and they tell me that I inspire them or I motivate them. That, in turn, motivates me to keep doing the best I can do.
What may look like a setback has pushed him forward, and Galloway actually feels blessed that that accident happened to him.
You know what? I would not change anything that's happened to me. It was a struggle. Would I love to have my arm and leg back? Oh man, without a doubt. But what I went through, that injury, that depression, everything I went through, and then the life I have, the people I've been able to inspire, is all because of what I've gone through. So this right here, I am happy it happened.
Well, we want to thank Noah not only for doing that interview, but coming up to Youngstown and participating in the Freedom Warrior golf outing in July. It was just a fabulous moment. And he says he's not done.
No.
I mean, he's got more things he wants to do.
So many things, and he's a very good friend of ours. So we will keep you up to date on everything that he has going on. But think big this time.
Right.
Maybe big screen.
Big screen, maybe. And I encourage you to check out the book, too. And it's easy to find. Just look online and you'll be able to get it. So,
Living with No Excuses is the name of his book. So.
Fantastic stuff. All right, coming up, I get to go back into the kitchen with Mark.
Yes, you do. And we're going to hang out with Chad Cromer as well. But the stuff that Mark makes at Bistro 1907, don't you, Mike, just home run, isn't it?
Home run every time. You're going to get to see it right after this break.
If you come in and see it, you're able to touch it, to feel it, to see what the true color is. How does the leather feel against your skin? You can't do that online.
No hot water? Call A to Z Dependable Services. Our fully stocked rapid response water heater specialist will get you back in hot water in no time. A to Z is the only call you need to make. Only A to Z.com.
Bistro 1907 right here in beautiful downtown Youngstown with
beautiful.
the chef and owner Mark Canzonetta.
Hey Mike,
with
how you
another
doing?
dish for us this week.
I
Thank
think so.
you.
This is one of our more popular dishes right now on the menu.
It is.
Yes.
And it's called
Spatchcock hen.
Spatchcock hen.
It's a Cornish hen.
Okay.
So it's kind of
Which
like
is-
a baby chicken.
Is there a special, is it from Cornland or what? I mean, what's a
Well,
Cornish
hopefully
hen?
they feed off of corn.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
it's an English term.
Okay.
It's an English term.
Very
so
good.
and it's also a cooking. What we're doing, the spatchcock part, is the cooking preparation part of it. So you're going to take a bird that would normally take 35 to 40 minutes to cook in the oven, and we're going to be able to cook that either on a grill or in a saute pan in about 15.
Oh, good.
Because we're going to eliminate some parts of it. So we're going to take this, Mike, if you could take that for me. And what we're doing is we're going to go right down the backbone, and that's also called the keel bone, okay, of the bird. Nice sharp knife. And what we want to do is we want to get rid of that bone right there. So we just want to take it, and you hear all the crunchies,
Yeah.
and get rid of that bone.
It's pretty gross.
It is.
I mean, is there anything grosser than raw chicken on the planet?
You know, if it's good chicken, no. Because you've
not
got
too
quality
bad.
ingredients.
Okay.
You just want to take the heel of your knife and go back down through that bone. Now it's completely open.
Okay.
So what we want to do now is season it, salt, fresh ground pepper, and I like to use Telecherry peppercorns for their bright floral characteristics. A little bit of herbes Provence because we are a French bistro.
Okay.
Okay? A little salt, pepper. We're going to drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And you want to make sure to flip it around and do the other side just the same way.
Same thing.
Yeah, and we want to tuck back those little wing bones so they're nice and neat.
Now, can you sell me on something?
Yes.
There are a lot of people that say, I only like boneless chicken. I don't want to deal with the wings and the this and the bones.
Well, that's why you come to Bistro and you get fried chicken and waffles.
Okay.
Because it's
I mean,
boneless.
is there something to the taste of this that maybe just
Everything
a
on the
regular...
bone tastes better because the bone has a lot of flavor to it.
Okay.
And we're going to take this one and put it in a hot pan. And you want to hear that sizzle when your hen hits the pan.
Okay.
Or anything you're cooking. You want to hear that because that means you're going to caramelize all the sugars and the fat and all those kind of things. So we're going to come over here. We already have one we've crisped and browned off on both sides.
Right.
And then we're going to come back and make a lovely crushed tomato vinaigrette to go with that.
Oh, good. Okay, before we go, when I put chicken on the grill or on the saute pan, I'm a little bit nervous.
Why are you nervous?
Because if you don't cook it enough, that's bad news.
Right.
If you cook it too much, that's bad news.
Exactly.
So how do you know,
Just
without
right.
a thermometer, how would I know?
You know, you can go to the old school. Rare,
Yeah.
medium, well done. Do that on your cheek.
Just use your finger or
Yeah.
your thumb? Who knew? I really didn't know that.
Exactly.
Goodness.
So we want to cook this for about 15 to 20 minutes. What you want to do is you want to sear it till it's caramelized.
Okay.
And then you want to flip it over, and then you want to throw it into a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes.
Just flip one time. Don't
Just
go
flip
back
one
and forth.
time, and that'll be it.
Okay, we're going to watch that cook. We'll take a little break. We'll come back. We'll put something fun on top.
Sounds good.
Gentile Facial Plastic and Aesthetic Laser Center leads the way in using technology to improve the way you look and feel. Dr. Gentile is excited to offer a new effective procedure, Profound, the non-invasive facelift. Call us today. Join us Saturday, September 8th at Slows Airfield for the Ross Griffin Memorial Bash. Over $150,000 in cash and prizes. Proceeds benefit local high school senior scholarships and youth help centers. Visit rossgriffinmemorialbash.com for more information.
Hey, you guys get your seat sponsorship yet for the Robins? Yeah. These guys got theirs. Go to robinstheater.com and get yours.
Be a part of the Downtown Warren revitalization. Sponsor your seat today at robinstheater.com.
All right, back here at Bistro 1907 in downtown Youngstown, we're not doing a juggling act.
We're not doing a juggling
But
act.
we do juggle many jobs.
I think so. You have to wear many hats.
This is one of them.
Yes.
We did our chicken. This is called, for people just figuring it out,
spatchcock Cornish hen.
Spatchcock Cornish hen,
Yes.
which is the type of cooking that we did.
Well, preparation of the bird. Yes.
All right.
So it cooks quicker, so you can give it to your guests a lot sooner.
Very good. And now we're going to put something on top.
Yeah, we got these great early crop tomatoes from Marietta, Ohio, sold exclusively right now at Molnar Farms.
Okay.
And we're going to turn that into a crushed summer tomato vinaigrette.
Can I ask you a tomato question? I hate interrupting, but I have to know.
That's okay.
When I get one of these and it's not quite right, what do I do?
You can do a couple things. You can just let it on the counter for a couple days.
Do you turn it face down? Some people do.
Some people do, yep.
Okay.
You can put it in a paper bag over top of your refrigerator for 2 days. Ethylene gas makes them turn riper.
Oh.
Okay?
All right, good.
So we're going to take some tomatoes.
Back to the cooking.
Some fresh summer tomatoes. We're going to take some fresh oregano because we love herbs, especially in this dish because it's very French, very provincial. Okay?
What herbs are those?
That is fresh oregano.
Okay.
I'm going to take some basil. And I always love to tear my basil. I don't like to cut it. I like to tear the basil. We're going to take some more basil and
Any
tear
reason
it.
why?
I just like the flavor profile it gets. It goes brown on the edges. Can you smell that floral?
Yeah.
We're going to take some great extra virgin olive oil. And right now, this extra virgin olive oil is coming from California.
Okay.
Okay? And we're just going to put a nice pinch of salt. And now we're just going to start to crush those tomatoes because you want all those beautiful, bright summer juices of those tomatoes to come out because they're so sweet. You know, when people add sugar to their tomato sauce, they add sugar to their tomato sauce because the tomatoes aren't good. Because they're not ripe and they're not sweet. So we're just crushing this up and we're mashing all those beautiful juices into the vinaigrette. Now, right this next point, a little bit of fresh ground pepper. And whatever vinegar of your choice you like. If you like balsamic, use balsamic. Okay. If you like aged sherry, use aged sherry. A good red wine vinegar. We're going to use balsamic in this.
Okay.
Okay. And now we're just going to stir that up.
I would eat just that.
It's
Honestly,
great.
I would eat
it
that
looks
with a
great.
spoon and be very
it's like an
happy.
Italian salsa almost. It really is, but very French in its origin. Okay. Now we're going to take that hen.
Okay.
And we're going to pair that with some frise. It's a very bitter green.
That's right there.
Right there. And when you take that bitter green with the wonderful roasted Cornish hen, and you put this crushed tomato,
show this to these
isn't that
guys so they can
amazing?
see it, yeah.
You're just going to pour all those beautiful juices and create this amazing dish for your guests.
And you can eat that too,
Light,
right?
Healthy.
The frise?
Oh, absolutely. It goes perfect with it. You want to take a bite of the frise, some of the tomatoes, dip the chicken into that vinaigrette, and then we're gone. So you want to do the Viking. You want to rip off a wing.
Yeah, I think we should just rip off a drumstick.
Rip off a drumstick. Go ahead, Mike.
That's what we do.
Well, I think you got the drum in the thigh.
Oh, that's legit.
Is that legit?
That's legit.
Isn't that great?
I could do some dunking in this.
That's what you do. You do some dunking. You get a great loaf of bread from
Where's
the bread
all the
shop.
French bread here, right?
Exactly. Well, it's in the back. It hasn't been delivered yet.
Good stuff.
All right,
Thank you.
man. Thank you.
All right, more
so
next
it's great.
time.
It's light. It's healthy, and it's local.
There you go. Good
All
stuff
right.
from Bistro 1907.
Well, Michael, you're a lucky guy to be hanging out with Mark Canzonetta so much these days.
I like when you can just rip the food apart and eat it like that. That's
It's like
the best.
medieval times.
It really is.
Good stuff, Mark, and always for people at home, Bistro 1907 is where you can make reservations. You won't be disappointed. We know
Check them
that.
out. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Yes, we are. We're going to direct our attention to downtown Youngstown. We're going to put the spotlight on things that you may not notice, the accessibility of places that everybody should be able to walk into and feel that they have a piece and a place. It wasn't always that way, but a man by the name of Carl Nunziato has made sure his life mission means something. Take a look at this.
The courthouse is supposed to be a place that treats everyone with equality, but it wasn't always a place that was accessible to everyone.
This level came in straight here. There were two big steps out here. You could see how this wall is. This wall was the level of the prior ramp. It was flat. So there was two major steps going up inside the door. Once you got inside the door, there were three more steps. It was impossible for a wheelchair to get in. A person with crutches would have trouble. But anybody with the wheelchair would have to be carried, the wheelchair would have to be carried into the courthouse.
It was the late 1970s. Carl Nunziato, an experienced lawyer, needed to help a dear friend named Don Baker, but not as a legal counselor. He went to court that morning to help lift his friend's wheelchair up the steps since he was facing divorce after becoming a paraplegic.
I saw a couple of my friends that I knew come by and I said, can you help us carry this wheelchair up the steps? One guy just had back surgery, another guy had hip surgery. They said, we can't do it. Well, we're standing out there. The hearing was at 10 o'clock, it's about 9:45, and there was a couple ladies standing there. They said, we're gonna help you. So the two ladies started to lift the wheelchair. We got up 3 steps. I said, stop. You're gonna kill all of us. This is too heavy. We went back down. We sat at the bottom of the steps. Never got into the courtroom. He never got his day in court. He never got to appear before the judge because we couldn't get into the building.
What might seem like a few steps to most was a proverbial mountain, a mountain that needed to be moved. And so Carl and Don decided to move it themselves.
Once we discovered this problem, we started a campaign to have this ramp built, to have a wooden ramp initially built in the courthouse, and then when they did the major remodeling of the courthouse, they actually sunk the floor there.
It was an era before the American with Disabilities Act became law, and Nunziato and a group of motivated Youngstown residents were about to set out on a 15-year journey to make the city accessible for everyone. They called themselves the Barrier-Free Architecture Committee. One of their first projects was to make city streets easier to navigate with something called a curb cut. The year was 1982.
Nobody knew what we were talking about because there didn't exist any. I said, well, it looks like a driveway, but it's even a little less than that. So they said, we have to build a prototype. Down on Front Street, where the mill was, they said you could put one there. Don Baker and I paid for it. It was $280. We paid for the first curb cut, and that's where they put it as a prototype.
As he walks this ramp today, each step is laced with success. Success for a generation of people who have followed him and who might have a story just like his. Major Carl Nunziato was one of the first Army soldiers to go to Vietnam. These photos were taken just hours before he lost both of his feet and part of a leg while he was under enemy fire. He spent 2 years learning to walk again at Walter Reed Hospital.
When a person is severely wounded, the concept is they need compensation to overcome their wounds. And they try to climb mountains and go skating and go rollerblading, go skiing. My compensation was I got an education and I came back and I applied that not only for my benefit, but for the benefit of the veterans. And they talk about freedom. Think about it. If a person can't get into his courthouse, and can't get into his school, can't get into his church, there is no freedom. We made that part happen.
And Carl has not taken any rests. This is a coin that he gave me. This is Carl Nunziato, the Veterans Resource Center. He, of course, was an integral part of that entire project, and rightfully so. The entire Resource Center is named after him because of all the dedication and hard work that he has given to our local veterans, and what an amazing man. And his wife, too, Clara and Carl.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending the time with me. We are so appreciative of it.
Just shows what one person can do, what a difference one person can do if they just give it a try.
Right? That's all it took, was making a decision.
Well done. All right, when we come back, Lauren's going to connect with Chad from Next Home Realty. Some tips when you start to buy a home.
If you suffer from snoring or sleep apnea, wake up. The Sleep Easy Dental Spa has created a simple oral sleep device that is life-changing.
A lot of our patients have had a CPAP and either can't wear it or hate it.
Well, I was looking for alternative therapies for years, but I heard about the Sleep Easy dental appliance, and I gave that a try, and voila, it works like magic.
This custom-fit sleep device is covered by most insurance plans and Medicare. Call today for your free consultation. The Sleep Easy Dental Spa. Sleep better tonight. Enjoy life tomorrow.
Bistro 1907 is a classic yet unique American bistro. This space lets us immerse ourselves in history. The dishes are inspired by our past but have a modern twist. Bistro 1907 by Mark Canzonetta is unlike any place else. Find out why. I'm Mark Canzonetta, and I welcome you to Bistro 1907.
All right, this week on Home Advantage with Chad Cromer from Next Home Realty, we are once again taking a look at some beautiful spaces and the things that I'm noticing, once again, very different from what you're noticing. First and foremost, in this space, what do you think?
Well, I know it's a great big space, crown molding, fireplace, the big TV, everyone gets drawn to those. So I'm always looking at, is it a wood fireplace, gas fireplace? So I could tell you on the maintenance on that. And more importantly, everyone likes the big screen TV, but what happens when the seller takes it? There's a huge bracket back there, big bolts. Most people are familiar with that nowadays.
Yes.
Do they stay? Do they go? Either way, to make sure it's going to do what you want, you write it in the contract.
They need to stay, and everybody needs to turn into Valley Spotlight.
That's it.
That's all I got to say about that one.
Get the tips.
Well, one of the best parts about seeing a new house is to be able to test all that stuff out, faucets and all the great stuff that even comes in the bathroom. It's so beautiful in here too.
It is, and obviously people spend a lot of time here. It's the kitchens and the bathrooms, let alone the master suite. So I'm actually proud of you for checking on that, because most people would not, and it is sometimes a problem.
The water pressure.
Absolutely.
Right.
Start with the front door, you ring the doorbell, it may not ding. Same thing with the water pressure. You want to make sure it's good.
Very good. So I am also noticing something that I thought this might just be a thermostat for the rest of the house, and it was just happened to be in the bathroom.
Right, and you thought it was in a weird spot, but actually it's for the heated floors. So when you see something like that, there's a product below the tile that when you get out of the shower, it's warm on your feet, and you can set it at any temperature you'd like.
I would set it as high as it can go. All right, the shower itself, I mean, this is a beautiful shower. There's nothing to complain about there. At least I wouldn't, right?
You feel like you're at a spa with that. It's the double-headed shower, steam shower, and plus. So it's amazing.
Should we be noticing the slope of the shower as we're looking at it?
Again, I'm proud of you for noticing that.
I know. You say all these things and they stick with me.
It's like I told you, you should be looking at that. Of course, you want the drain to be in the center. Well, actually, wherever you put the drain, you want to make sure all four corners slope to it.
Good information, Chad. We always appreciate you being with us on Valley Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
What'd I tell you? You want to live in the bathroom, don't you? I would never leave the bathroom.
It did look nice. It looked like it was a hotel in Las Vegas.
I know.
Where is it?
It's actually in Poland.
Oh.
Go figure. It's for sale too, in case you were wondering.
Oh, there you go.
Next Home Realty. Thank you, Chad.
There you go. All right, let's move on to this. I was driving down Route 46 and I saw 3 different dance studios. So we have a lot of dance studios here in the Valley, and they're all fantastic. But I want to introduce you to a team and a dance studio in Niles on 422 called Steppin Out that's not only been around for over 20 years, these folks are champions now in many different ways.
I was definitely scared just because this was in a different state. I'm really comfortable in Ohio.
After 2 years of winning championships in Toledo and at Kalahari, the Steppin Out Dance Center in Niles decided to do something different this summer, step out of their comfort zone when they qualified to perform in Atlantic City.
We knew that there was going to be amazing studios there, so we weren't sure what was going to happen.
What happened was one of the best showings in Rose's 22 years of owning this studio.
This group stood out this year more than any other year for us, and we've done well over the past, but this group came in with this attitude of work ethic, respect, discipline, kindness. They loved each other. They all got along really well, and that's what was so important to us this year.
That attitude showed on stage and impressed the judges. Too many top tens to count, winning performances down the line, and the overall national championship in 2 categories with a runner-up in another. It was far and away more than this group of champions even expected.
I was like, oh my gosh, we won. And then we were so happy. We were like jumping on stage. We were like doing so much on stage. We had so much fun.
I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, oh my God, guys, we won! And like, it was an amazing experience for me. I never would have dreamt it in the world.
Helena has been with Steppin Out for 7 years now. Like the rest of the 24 kids on the team, she says dance has changed her life.
They taught me how work ethic goes and how determined you need to be, and when you're determined, you can do anything.
I like that I can simply just express myself any way I want without anyone having to judge me, and any type of move or anything I do is just unique because it's my own original thing, and that just makes you you.
They're unique but uniform and very special. With 7 instructors watching and helping every move, this group has developed into a top-notch team.
We would sit there and just cry because we were so excited that they had that uniformity and that camaraderie, that they were willing to just be a great unified group of kids, and we knew that it was going to do really well through the year, whatever happened.
And thanks to this place, they'll continue to excel here in the studio.
We have to focus on each other's work ethic and this stuff, and we have to work hard in class.
And later in life.
Anything you want to do, you can do it if you put your mind to it. Because sometimes sometimes you just get down sometimes and think you can't do something, but when you have a team like them, you can.
Get up and dance!
I know.
They're so good.
They are good.
I mean, a lot of the girls are great out there, but very, very nice.
And one little boy, too. And the instructors and all the parents that brought the kids out. It was a big production to let us come out there, so thank you so much for letting us come.
Did you learn anything?
I've learned I'm not quite as limber as those folks.
Oh, come on now.
And I have zero rhythm, too.
Well, then we'll try to spotlight that next week. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you to Noah Galloway for spending time with us, Carl Nunziato, Leo Connolly for setting up so many of these great stories for us. If you have a great story, valleyspotlight.com or like us on our Facebook page. Easy to get a hold of us. That's what it's all about, right?
That's it. Thanks for watching. That's our show for this week. We'll see you next time.